All right. Welcome again. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, my people. Welcome to the Mama Africa show. This show is for Africans in the diaspora, that is Europe, USA, Asia, even in Antarctica. Wherever you are, we are bringing you some nice stuff. Today we're gonna have, of course, our hot topics, and then we're talking about our strive, our thrive, our challenges. There were hollers we go through in America as immigrants. And then, of course, in this show we are going to have our mother tongue section. And before we even go further, I just want to say this show comes to you every other Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I am Anna Molago, aka Mama Africa Anna, and I am so happy, blessed to be on the mic with you today. All right. Today we have a show that is as sweet like honey. Oh my goodness. We have an amazing guest with us today. This is Omega Tawaneji. Look at me, an African, messing your name up. You got to find me, Omega. Find me big, eh? And definitely, she's going to talk about her struggles, her thriving, her challenges, the wahalas, and the gift that she's giving us today is her passion for us, the mother African people from the diaspora. She's definitely going to talk about, her organization, her company, her passion for us that has made us come here to America, but not forget our motherland, our mother tongue, and the fact that we have to be in the process and the place and the society of Ubuntu. I think her organization is a one-stop shop for everything African and immigrant. And of course, we're gonna have our mother tongue section, and of course she's going to speak in Shona and give us 2 proverbs in Shona. I am excited, I can't wait. And we also have our hot topics, and today in our hot topics, this is hot news around the world is hot. Do you want me to go on and start talking about the news around the world, because it is hot? And coming back with that, we're gonna come back with our news around the world. So let me just go to some music a little bit so we can wait for you to come in. It's hot today. If you cannot say my name right, moi la go, then you have no right to tell me to say water if I know it as water. I mean, what is the meaning of this conversation, and what is the purpose of communication? To drink water or to say water? So honey child, please, if you have not walked in my shoes, you have no say in my world, and don't you dare command me to walk in your shoes, because I love the smell of my feet, the feel of my shoes, and the history of my life. All right. I am here with you. News around the world. I do not want to waste time, but in Kenya, oh my goodness, the Gen Z have taken over. And we had what is called the finance bill protest in Kenya, and it's more than just the finance bill. I don't even want to say so much, because later on I'm going to be joined by my friend Ali Badawi, where we have our music section. Today we are going to have our political section, where we are going to talk about what's going on in Kenya, what is happening, what are the Gen Z teaching us. So definitely don't miss that section. It's going to come after our guest has spoken. Oh Lord, and let's go to America, where we have Biden. Is he stepping down? That's something else. Did you watch the debate? Well, oh my goodness. And you know what Trump has been talking about? He said, man, he came in and conquered. But I don't believe he did that. I don't think Biden should step down. I don't know if he'll step down. But all we can say is that right now we are in a very, Omega, when you are in a ship, and then it starts just going like this, wavering. That's why we are in America. We don't know where we are going to stop. Last but not least, the heat wave in America. Oh, today was 97 degrees. And you know what I say, Omega? Mm-hmm. If you want to lose weight, this is the perfect time. I mean, just sit in your car, do not put any AC, and keep driving. Man, you are going to sweat it. So before you know it, you have lost 10 pounds. Just like that. And do not thank me later. You will be sweating like bullets. Before you know it, you got your weight that you needed. You know, people like me who have been struggling with weight for a long time, summer is my best time. That's why I lose the weight. Because there's nothing I can do but just drive, no AC. And if I get high blood pressure, don't say I told you so. Well, but this is America, so please take care of yourself when it comes to the heat. It's too hot out here. Make sure you drink your water, hydrate, and you don't need to go outside if you don't have to go outside because it's hot in this, you know what. Anyway, we're going to go to our music interlude, and when we come back, we are going to start with our guest, Omega Tawanaje, all the way from Zimbabwe. You know, you have to tell me the meaning to your name. When we come back, you got to tell me what it means. Because the way even it sounds so good, Omega. I'm like, it has to have a meaning in there. It's just not, even Omega in itself has a meaning. Now, Tawoneje. So this is going to be our song that we come in with. And this song, of course, is, of course, I've heard this song, Asante, many times. Asante is thank you. And we are inviting also, I want to say this before we continue, we are inviting a lot of independent artists to come, please, and so we can share our music. Send us your music, send us your stuff. We want to share it with you so that people know that, you know, we are here doing our work as musicians, as artists, and we are celebrating ourselves. We don't have to be in a big label. We can still have our music played, right, Omega?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, and so we don't want to waste any time because I just want you to hear what Omega has to tell me because she has a lot of good stuff out there. So this is Asante. We're coming back with Omega.
Wewe ni Mungu Baba, twatoa shukurani kwa uhai wetu, ndio maana tunasema wewe ni Baba yetu, twasema asante kwa mema yote, ewe Baba, umetufariji na upendo wako, ewe Baba, twasema tunasema wewe ni mama yetu, twatoa shukurani kwa maisha yetu, ndio maana tunasema wewe Muumba yote, twasema asante kwa mema yote, ewe Baba, umetufariji na mema yote, ewe Baba. Mungu sio athumani, ni kweli. Mungu si mwanamume.
Thank you so much for that, and you know I'm thanking myself because that is my song. Asante is my song. And I definitely want to say that the Asante means thank you in Swahili. And I did this song at the one studio called Bass Cliff Studios here in Bowie with my guy Vincent. If you want your music done right, go to Vincent Othieno. I am putting a plug out there for my brother or from another mother all the way from Uganda. But now we are going to Zimbabwe. You know, I've always liked the people from Zim. I mean, I have two amazing comedians from Zimbabwe. One is, you know, my brother Kainga and Alfred, and the other one is Lenmo. I mean, these people have come to America and they have taken over. Forget, but you know, there were days that you are, as a comedian, you are like trying, you are shy, you can't speak with your African accent. Man, they are blowing up, they are making money with their African accents. So, and they are making us laugh. So, you know, shout out to Kainga out there, shout out to Lenmo, your sister is in the studio. Omega Tawoneji, I got it right.
Yes, you got it right.
Yes, is an accomplished executive with a passion for serving underrepresented communities in the DC metro area. As the executive director of the Immigrant Community Services, Omega has overseen the organization's efforts to provide cultural sensitive services related to community integration, economic empowerment, community health to the minority, refugees, and immigrant population in the DC metro area. With a wealth of experience in community engagement and advocacy, Omega has been an active board member of the Southern African Community, USA, since 2013, and also African Affairs Advisory Group of Montgomery County. Since 2014, served as the chair in 2017 and 2018 as a co-leader of the Culture Working Group. Omega played a key role in promoting and educating the public on African culture, culminating in successfully organizing the Pan-African Festival for 7 consecutive years. I must tell you, I was in one of those festivals.
Yes,
I performed.
absolutely.
I didn't know it was you, huh?
Yes.
You know, thank you. We performed and we were paid. Omega has worked Omega has worked with other Africans serving community-based organizations, including African Women in Cancer Awareness Association, Pacha Foundation, African Immigrant Caucuses, various houses of worship around the DMV, and many countries and hometown associations. Omega passion for community engagement and advocacy has extended beyond Montgomery County, as evidenced by her recent involvement in the organizing the inaugural Black Frederick Festival in Frederick County. You didn't call me for that. Omega also works with the women subsistence farmers and traders groups in Sierra Leone, helping build their capacity by providing entrepreneurship training. Day job, Omega is a project manager. Born in Zimbabwe, came to the U.S. for college, attended college in Nashville, and need I say more, she is now a Maryland resident. And Omega, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Anna, for inviting me to this show. I'm excited to be here, and I can't wait to see what we're going to talk about.
Well, I have so many things I want to ask you. I'm like, okay, everybody who comes to my show, because I only interview mainly immigrants. Mm-hmm. I'm like, tell me your culture shock. Tell me the first thing when you came to America, you were like, hey, woo! So go ahead. I want to hear it.
So the first thing that I saw that shocked me when I came to America and was I got here to the U.S. on December the 23rd. So it was Christmas time.
Yes.
And of course I was excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to see snow and everything is going to be like what we used to see on the movies and stuff like that. So I got here at night, and the next morning I went outside and I opened the door and I was like, what? Have I landed in some like war zone or whatever? Because where we lived at the time as new immigrants, it was like the seedy part of town. Wow. So it was like in the project, close to the project.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, this is definitely not the America that I used to see, the Beverly Hills 90210 and stuff. So that was my first shock. But
was there snow there?
No, it was in Tennessee. You know, it doesn't snow in Tennessee.
And that's why we have you here. because you have to talk about how immigrants, before they come to America, they need to do what is called a background check.
Absolutely.
Check where you are going.
Do your research.
Yeah, do your research. So you came out there and you are just seeing people say, "What's up, man?"
Yes.
And you know, your first thing they say, "Can I get your number?" Before they even ask your name.
I know.
Yeah. And that's the experience.
Oh my God.
The culture is different, but guess what? You stayed here and you are originally from Zimbabwe, right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Tell us about Zim. You know, I hear that Zim people carry money with their with their suitcases.
Yes.
Debunk that. Is it true?
We broke the record for having the highest level of inflation back in the day. We had trillions of dollars, but now we are on the dollar. We are dollarized now and using the dollar because our new currency is still up and coming.
What?
It is backed by gold, so we have to have our gold reserves up. But yeah,
What?
absolutely.
So therefore, you are using American money.
Yes, when you go to Zimbabwe, when you go to the ATM machine, it would give you dollars when you.
For real?
Yes.
So basically, what? That is even my guy back here is shocked. So basically, if you have 20,000 Zimbabwe money, is what dollars?
Yeah, you have 20,000 US dollars.
Ah, you're kidding me.
Yes.
Ah.
But it's a disadvantage, because you wanna, when you go home and you wanna change the money and
Yes.
get the advantage of the currency exchange. So we don't have that.
You don't have no currency exchange. So basically your money disappeared.
Everything is in US dollars. At the bank, when you go withdraw your money, they give you US dollars.
Listen, let me ask you. Let me see. Wine. Let me just think about wine. You drink wine?
Yes, I do.
Wine. For example, you can get wine here in America for like maybe $12.99. How much wine there in the Zim?
It's gonna be a little bit pricey. Maybe you're gonna get it for like $20.
Dang,
Yeah.
gone. Ay. So your life is more expensive than American.
It absolutely is.
So those Zims are not coming. People from Zim are not coming to
There's
America.
no advantage.
Yes.
There's no advantage of
Oh
coming here.
my
I think
goodness.
the only advantage is that you get to earn more money because,
Yes, because the economy there.
Unemployment and stuff,
Yeah, and
yeah.
employment. So, but your money is the same money.
But if I send you $20,
It is
you're gonna get
$20.
$20.
It breaks my heart. No.
Yeah, but we have a new currency that is in process. So
Yes.
hopefully this will end.
What's the name of the
It's
currency?
called the ZIG, Z-I-G. So
ZIG.
yeah, so it means Zimbabwe, and the G is for gold because this new currency is backed by gold. Yeah.
And is the president doing a good job with that? Or you don't want to talk about that? That's political.
So he's doing the best that he can under the circumstances.
Under the
But we can
circumstances.
always get more improvement.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I want to talk about your because we don't have so much time. I want to talk about your organization, Immigrant Community Services. The reason it's so, I read about it a little bit, and it has 3 parts to it.
Right.
The economic development part,
Yes.
the community integration part, and there is the immigrant community part.
Right.
And so it's a one-stop shop for any immigrant who's come from any African country to get services. Tell me,
Right.
what was your motivation to start this organization?
So this organization started in 2012,
Yes.
and there was a large influx of immigrants coming into the DMV area, but there was an absence of culturally sensitive service providers. So when you go to the hospital, when you go to counseling or different types of services,
Yes.
Africans were just lumped in with all the other blacks,
Yes,
and we needed something that was more culturally appropriate
Yes.
to sensitize people. So that's how this organization started. And there was a need for people to get resources in a centralized location.
Yes.
Because when you come, you don't know where to go buy your cornmeal to make your
Yes,
ugali or your nsima or sadza, like
Yeah.
we call it. So these are some of the things that we provide: information, resources, where to get what, where to go and do this, and all that kind of stuff. So that's how this organization started. So we obviously want new immigrants to settle and integrate quicker and
Quickly, yeah.
smoother because you have to take care of yourself and your family.
Yeah.
So these services, information, we put it in one central location so you can quickly get it and use it to your advantage.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and we also recognize that when new immigrants come, not everybody can get a 9-to-5 job. So we want to, and we encourage entrepreneurship that's where the economic empowerment comes in.
Okay.
So we encourage people to get business plans. We teach how to do business plans.
Wow.
We connect them with microfinance to start little projects and that kind of stuff. And then the community integration is tied to the resettlement. When you come in, you don't know where to go and register your child for school, or where to go and get the food that where the restaurants are. So all that information is in one place in an app that we created called the Moco Welcome Guide App.
Yes, and I'm going to talk about that app very soon. But I just think that this is amazing because a lot of us, when we come to America from different parts of Africa or even other parts of the world, sometimes we are like, if we didn't do our research, as we said earlier, we are like fish out of water,
Absolutely.
And that's why you find that I always say this, if you get in and the family you are with is nurses, you become a nurse. Yes. If you come in and the family that we are working at McDonald's, you will work at McDonald's. Even though your motivation, even though your dream, even though your goal was different, it can sometimes take you a long time to really find your path because you are drawn to the people you are with. And so it's so important that you have this to tell people, that's not the only option. Just like you said, you can come here and start your own business.
Exactly.
Do you know how many people don't think like that? They think like, come here to look for a job. But you are saying you can give them microfinancing, whatever loans, or help them find them and start their own business. That's big. That's really big.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So I want to ask you something, because when you do this kind of advocacy, there's always something that says there are two things that happen when you are following your passion. You get to a place and it feels like, why am I doing this?
Exactly.
And then there's a place you feel and it's like, that's why I'm doing this. So I want you to tell me what the place you got, that you had such a gut-wrenching experience that made you say, that's why I'm doing this. It could be your experience or somebody's experience that made you realize, that's why God wants me to do this. Do you have an experience like that?
Yes. So clearly there was an experience. I think I'm going to first share somebody else's experience.
Yes.
So I'm going to date myself here.
No problem. Old is gold. Old is gold.
So when back in the day when we had just come and we were students, and we lived in this city area that I mentioned earlier, there were a lot of refugees that had come. This is at the height of the Rwandan
genocide,
and destabilization within the region. So there were a lot of refugees who were coming through Catholic Charities. And there was one lady that lived in the complex that we lived in, because it was low income, so refugees could afford to live there. So I had my little car that I shared with my cousin, and on our car we had a rosary that was hanging down. And so this immigrant girl didn't speak English because she was new from Rwanda. She spoke French and knew nobody. But she always used to see this car parked and she had no clue whose car it belongs to. So,
and this is the apartment complex?
Yes, in the apartment complex. So she wanted to find a way to go to church.
Oh, wow.
But she did not know how to ask people, where is church? But she was like, oh, these people must be Christian because they have a little rosary hanging. So she told me that she would wait out and stand outside in her window to watch when this car came back and parked, so she could see which door of the apartment we were going to, so she could go and knock on that door. So she said it took her like 2 weeks before she actually figured out where we lived and who we were and stuff. And then she came and knocked, and when she knocked on the door, she actually couldn't say, okay, this is what I need. But she motioned for me to come out, and I did. And then she pointed at the car. And then I was like, okay, is something wrong with the car? And then she pointed to the rosary. And I was like, oh, okay, church. Is that what? So I had to go and show her where the church was. So that's where this actually started. That this woman was so... she was so lost. She was dropped in the middle of Tennessee and had no one who spoke her language, and she couldn't even ask for basic things that she needed things that helped her overcome whatever she had come from. So that was a personal experience that stuck with me all these years. And then when I could, I was like, I'm gonna do something about it.
That's deep. That's a really deep story, because just the other day, which you can't believe that in this day and age, people are still continuing. Immigrants are still going through situations whereby they have no one around them.
Yes.
Because there is a lady actually on Instagram who was crying and saying that I have just come, I don't know people, there are no people around. And I was like, whoa, I didn't think that up until now. You know, I've lived here so long. I didn't realize that there are still people coming in who need us, who need other immigrants to say, hey, I'm here with you. Because she was actually thinking of going back home or doing things that were really not cool because she doesn't have a community here. So when you ended up showing her the church, you became friends, I'm sure.
We have been friends for all these years.
Wow.
And she went through classes, English language classes, and finally she got a job. And you will not believe she became an engineer and worked for the U.S. Army.
Hey, hey, what? From a church lady to an engineer. Hallelujah. What? If my mother would be here, my mother would say, that's why you need to pray the rosary.
Exactly.
My mother is a strong Catholic. So, wow. What about your experience? You said you also had an experience. Me, I like experiences.
So I've had so many experiences, but I think the one experience that resonates with many immigrants is when you get here and you are like, oh, I'm finally in America now. I can get a job, I can work and buy all these things that I've always wanted to buy. But then you realize, okay, you need to have papers. You need to have some sort of documentation and stuff. So, but you don't know where to go get the documents because unless you've come and you are staying with somebody who's gone through the process, then there's not. So that absence of information made me lose some opportunities that I could have taken advantage of. And I was like, okay, I don't want anyone to ever be in a position like this where they miss out on an opportunity because they didn't have the information.
Wow. Yeah. And so that's where we go into the Moco, right? So this, and so the company serves only Montgomery County, right?
So the company serves the DMV, the DC metro region.
But the app,
started with just covering Montgomery County because we developed that app using funds from Montgomery County.
Oh, wow.
So the Office of Community Partnerships in Montgomery County gave us a grant to develop this app. And of course, we had to start with Montgomery County, but we are in the process of expanding it to cover the entire region.
That's because that's what I wanted to say. Please cover the whole of the United States of this America. Please, because we need it. Immigrants need it. And definitely I'm going to talk to you about the app. And the app in itself, tell us what does the app have for the people who are new immigrants, or not only new, but people who are now settled, but they can share this app with other people. And how do they share it so that other people now can know, hey, this is a one-stop shop app where you can get a lawyer, you can find a place where to work, you can know where to take your kids to school, everything. Tell us more about the app.
Yes, so the app is it's an app that we developed with Mansa Core Labs.
Yes, my friend Sam.
Your friend Samuel, our friend.
Yes.
So with this app, basically the purpose is to put all resources in one place in easy access. So everybody now has a smartphone, so it's easy for you to get that information. And it has information, legal information, information for that helps people who are new and they want to process, go through the immigration process. It provides all that information. The purpose of this app, the need for it actually was amplified because of the southern border. There are a lot of immigrants who are coming who are being bused to different states because you know, Texas is overwhelmed. And then when they get there, they are just dropped somewhere and they don't have access to lawyers, they don't have access to anyone. So that's where this the idea of this app came from. So with the app, you can find it is in 3 different languages currently: English, French, and Spanish. And Spanish for obvious reasons. And so you can find legal resources, you can find healthcare resources, transportation, food, other things that you need.
Tutoring services.
tutoring services, we don't have them in there yet.
Okay.
So that's our next area. But if you want to find your community, so where am I? If you are in a new area and you need to know where your Kenyans are, you can find them. If you want to know where their restaurants are, you can find them on that
Translators
app.
And interpreters?
Yes, translators and interpreters.
Work source, I think.
Exactly.
Places where they can look for
where
a job.
They can get a job or get assistance in building a resume or applying for a bank loan, those kind of things.
I mean, I think, the things that you guys are doing with Mansa Collab and your organization to come up with this app, it's amazing. It's something that we as immigrants need. And the way you're talking, it seems that it's not only for the African immigrants.
No,
it's
anyone.
For any immigrant. And so that is even something even more stronger. It just doesn't care. It appeals exactly. It does appeal to me. It appeals to everybody out there, not only Africans but also immigrants from Asia, immigrants from South America, immigrants from. So it's really good. And I want it to be, if I can, I wish I had the money just to give you, hey, here, take, so it can be all over the U.S. Really, we need it.
That is our big plan.
How do we download the app?
So the app is available in the Android store, like Google Play, and in the Apple store as well. And it's called the Moco Welcome Guide App. And I think I've sent you some links so you can share.
M-O-C-O, right?
Yes, for Montgomery County. Welcome Guide App.
Okay.
Yes, so you can get it in any of those operating platforms, Android and Apple. And it's a free app. You don't have to pay for it. And it has all kinds of, like, if there's a new event that's happening in town, if you go under events, you will see, okay, this weekend there's a show from Tuku or from whatever. And so you still are caught up on social activities as well as serious things such as jobs and stuff like that.
And for all of us, you got to tell us it is free 99.
It's free 99. Absolutely no fee at all.
It is free. So please download the app. And it's not, I know you might be like, okay, I'm American now, I live here, but
there's always something new that you will learn.
It's always something new, and also you can share it, because what I want people to do nowadays is, the topic for this show today is each one, reach one, teach one.
Yes.
And that's what you did. You were one person, not only that you decided, I'm going to reach this lady and take the lady to church, and now you taught the lady how to fish, and now you're not only doing for yourself, but you're doing for the whole community. And that's just inspiring. I just want to say, what advice do you have for immigrants settling in America?
So and I know we hear this a lot and we think it's cliche, but in America, you can do anything and you can be anything. You just need to, put your mind to it. And there's a lot of opportunities. It is the land of opportunities. So don't limit yourself. Your mind is the only thing that limits yourself.
And if you are in a home where it is telling you to be a nurse, say
please. Yes. Go and do what you want to do.
Yes. And sometimes it's the truth is that our family sometimes cannot give you the support you need. But what you come to understand is that living in America, your family is not the only family.
Absolutely.
Your friends are good friends, good people who advise you can also be your family. Because for me, when I came, my mom and dad were all in Kenya. I'm the one who got here first. And to be honest with you, it was by the grace of God.
Absolutely.
And when God gave me opportunities here is your American mother, I got American mothers. Here's your American fathers, I got American fathers, American uncles, and they're the ones who have protected me since then. And I still keep in touch with them, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be successful as I am. I wouldn't be now doing my own thing. But it was strangers who became family. And so sometimes we only think, oh, my family. No, you are friends who love and care for you and believe in you can be your family too.
Absolutely.
And I just like what you said, that you can do anything. It's true. You can do anything. But you got to tell them, though, it comes with hard work. Please do not be on Netflix thinking about you can do anything, binging on movies and stuff. You got to sacrifice. Talk about the sacrifice.
You have to put in the hard work. You have to sacrifice. I always tell people that we used to have 2-3 jobs. I would go to school in the morning.
Yes.
From 3 to 11, go to one job. From 11 to 7, go to another job overnight, and then do that Monday through Friday until the weekend.
Yes.
So all this that we have and the experiences, they come from a lot of hard work and sacrifice.
Yes, that is so true. I can tell you the way people will make fun of Jamaicans because I don't know why, they're about working many jobs, but Africans, we do the same.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Me, how many jobs I had when I got here? Oh, Lord. I was a nanny for like one house. Then one day I was taking this child that I was babysitting, and other families came, oh, you are a nanny? I said, yes, I can be your nanny too. I was a nanny for another family. And then after that, I was walking in the mall. I saw an African store. Where? I said, let me go find if there's a job there. I asked. They say, yes, you can come. I worked at an African store. Those people are still my family. So now I became, then one day, I don't know, a friend of mine told me, Anna, do you want a job at 7-Eleven? Ha! I was working.
Like, yes.
I was working 3 jobs.
Yes.
I was working 3 jobs, day and night. Sometimes you get so tired, you'll even be sleeping on the road because you have worked yourself. So sometimes also we have to know there are limits. Do not overwork yourself. Sometimes you send that money home, instead of them using it, they are partying.
Oh my God. They are living a better life than you are. They are living better.
Yes. So love yourself enough to say, I'm working, but I also have time for me.
Self-care is very important.
Self-care is very important. If you need that money to go to Popeyes,
you can go to Popeyes. You just can't go every day.
Yes.
you can go to Popeyes.
Yeah. Now, advice for people who, like now we've talked about Zims. People in Zim, man, they don't even, if it wasn't for the job, they don't want to come.
No.
But what advice to people who want to come to America, those who have papers and those who don't have papers?
So you have to have a plan and some idea of what you want to do, how you are going to survive. Because unlike Africa in general, where the village is not going to let you starve, you know?
Yes, that's a
Here,
truth.
you can actually do that.
You can be homeless. This place is a jungle out here.
It is a tough jungle. So you can either make it or you can sink if you don't swim. So have a plan, know where you're going to go, create a good relationship with where you're going.
That's
and also be understanding that these people who are hosting me or who have taken me in, they have made some sacrifices. So don't expect a red carpet to be rolled out for you and stuff like that. Be prepared to put in the work. Whether you have papers or not. And if you don't, then you need to have a plan on how you're going to get those papers quickly.
Can you talk about people who don't have papers and they're in here and in America? How will you support them?
So for the people who do not have a documentation, what we do is we have we get funding grants from certain organizations that are sympathetic to that, and we try to find a path for them to get some sort of documentation and to regularize their papers. If that fails, then we also give them options to survive, like the creating of their little business and stuff like that, so they don't have to depend on formal employment, that kind of stuff.
Because I am Omega, me and you can talk about there are some unscrupulous ways of surviving.
Yes, and we don't want people to resort to those.
Because those ways, some people, it's a risk you take, but there are risks that come up with a lot of consequences.
Yes.
And so it's one thing to say, hey, I'll work with somebody social. It's another thing. When you
are putting yourself at risk and the other person at risk.
So there are so many things you can say, you can do, but it's not safe.
It is not.
But if you guys can help to offer alternatives, that's the best way to go. So with that, do people need to contact you if they need to talk about their situation and they need help? How does the organization help in, how do we, if somebody right now calls and say, I need help with this and this and that, how do we find you? What's the website, the email, how? Or do they go to the app and put the information there? What's the best way?
So they can contact us by phone, or they can send us an email. They can also send a message via the app. And we can reach out. So our website, we also have a website. It's immiserve.org. So IMMISERVE.org. And we have a phone number. I'm going to give that to you. And they can send us email at info@imiserve.org.
Okay. Info at, can you spell that for them, please?
Yes. So INFO at imiserve. Imiserve is IMME. Look at me trying not to know how to spell.
Yes, okay.
Imiserve. So IMMISEVERE.
Oh, SEVERE. Okay.
So IMI and then serve is in service.
Okay. Serve, SERVE then. Yeah.
IMMISERVE.
Yes.
We finally got it.
What's going on now?
This English business.
This no, it's not. That's why thank you for saying that, because that's why we're going to our mother tongue section, because we have to let them know that we have our mother tongue.
Exactly. And our phone number I'll give you quickly. It's 240-780-8088.
240-780-8088.
8088.
Fine. And okay, and then because of time, we're going to go to our song by Tolumide called Naturally Me. But before we do that, how can we find you also on social media?
So we are on Instagram. We are also on Facebook.
Yes.
And our handle is imiserve _MOCO for Moco.
Okay.
So imiserve _Moco.
Imiserve _ in Instagram.
Yes. And
at
Facebook.
Imiserve _ Moco. Man, this, you know what? I know many people, Omega, who may need your services.
Okay, send them our way.
Those who need paper, those who don't have documentation, those who do. Because it could be something to do with work. It could be something to do with health. We haven't touched that too.
Yeah.
People who don't have health insurance and they need health insurance. It could be something to do with, legal advice.
Right.
And also something about parenting and, taking children to schools when you just settle in with schools, because people don't understand that you have communities.
Absolutely.
And if you live in a county, your child has to go to that zone.
Yes. You have to be zoned.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's so much to learn when you come in. But two things we have said today. Number one, do your research before you leave your country. Number two, when you come here, be loving, kind. Don't expect a red carpet. Work hard, and know you have a time limit in that house. Don't stay there 2 years.
Exactly.
6 months, that's it.
And you need to roll with the punches. I mean, you have to be flexible until you are finally on your own.
But the most important thing is that you have a community, which is the Immigrant Community Services that can be of help, and also the app Moco that can be of help. And so you know that there's always us here to help you. So I just want you to, before we wrap up and come back to our mother tongue, what is your final shot you can tell any immigrant, any person from any part of the world?
So I guess what I can tell, because most people they don't want to hear things like "don't come," or because they're like, "Oh, you are trying to block the door for us. You want to try to be a gatekeeper." So all I can say is, America is the land of opportunity. If you have the opportunity to come at least once in your life, you should be able to do it. But be prepared to work hard.
And do they come? Do you advise to come documented or undocumented, or
Please,
it doesn't matter?
Come documented as much as possible. That will make your life easier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. Find Omega Tawoneji on social media. We're taking a short break with my sister Tulumide, bringing us Naturally Me. Enjoy her song as we come back with the mother tongue section. Wow, naturally me. Oh, that's my sister from Nigeria. She lives in DC, and that's Tulumide. Check her out on YouTube. Check her also on her Instagram page. And of course, check us out. You know, this is Mama Africa Show. This is our 3rd episode. We come to you every other Friday. You know, Mama has to do many things. I cannot commit to every Friday. So every other Friday. And we bring you like amazing, wonderful people from Africa and from different parts of the world. Not only Africa, but my main focus is African immigrants. And they speak about their challenges, their thrive, and you know, and also how they have succeeded and trying to pull others up. We are doing this. It's called the Ubuntu way, you know. And that's why we're saying each one, reach one, teach one, whereby we have to really support each other. We have to pull each other up. We have to be there for one another. Don't say, you know, hey, I have a business, it's successful, but when somebody asks you, how did you succeed in this business? You don't want to share that information. That's not good, because God says there is enough for everybody in this world. So now, and so please check us up on YouTube, MamaAfricaAnna, and subscribe. I need subscribers so that I can pay for this show. Please, it's serious. Subscribe on our YouTube page, MamaAfricaAnna. Please subscribe. There is my comedy there. There is some music there. And of course, this show is there. And also, what else? You can see me, find me on my Instagram as MamaAfricaAnna, on my Facebook fan page, MamaAfricaAnna, TikTok, MamaAfricaAnna, and YouTube, MamaAfricaAnna. The only place I'm not MamaAfricaAnna is on Twitter, or is it X? Just find me as Anna Mwalago. So let's go to our mother tongue. There's nothing as beautiful as our mother tongue. It's just amazing. It's so sweet. It's like food. And there's something that is so amazing with the African language, is that all natives, all mother tongues had proverbs. We learn through proverbs.
Yes.
And so tell me the 2 proverbs that your mother always said. Say them in Shona, and then after that, just tell us what it means.
Sure. So one of the proverbs that I want to share with our listeners today is a proverb that goes in Shona. It says, Sango rinopa waneta.
Now, you do not talk like that.
Yeah.
So say it well, like the way you are talking.
The way I would say it. Okay, so normally I would say Sango rinopa waneta.
That's it.
Yeah, so but I wanted to break down. It's just 3 words. So Sango rinopa waneta. Sango rinopa waneta. So basically the meaning of this is that Sango is forest, and rinopa is to give.
Yes.
Kupa.
Yes.
And kuneta is to get tired. So it's basically a word of encouragement that you have to things don't come easy. You have to work hard for it, and then it will finally give you. So the forest will finally reward you after walking through it. It's not, you're just not gonna get there and pick up all the fruits that you want. You have to walk through, and so you have to work hard before you can get your reward.
Wow. I like that, because I think there's also a Swahili proverb, and proverb in Swahili is called methali, whereby is ahangaikae sana najua ajua. Basically, the one that strives and works hard through the sun knows something, will get something. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. Give me the other proverb.
The last one is kumunga kunaipwa. So
let me say it. Kumunga kunaipa. Hey!
Ipwa.
Yes. Me, I know I'm Shona. Kumunga kunaipwa.
You see, you got it. You're definitely Shona.
I am Shona. I told you that my mother tongue, Taita and Shona, are like brother and sister.
Absolutely.
Their words are similar.
Very.
Kumunga kunaipwa. What does that mean?
So this means that so it's like been there, done that.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's someone who's saying kumunga is like, munga is a crop, like wheat.
Yes.
So wheat is very similar to this other sweet. It's like a sugar cane called ipwa. So they look very similar.
Yes.
And if you are inexperienced, you might think the munga is ipwa.
Oh.
So this saying is saying that we've been there, we've already tested this munga, so we know it is not ipwa. Yeah.
So man, been there, done that.
Yeah, so listen to people who have had the experience.
Yes, yes.
Because they've already gone through that.
Yes, it's basically as a kuishi kwingi kuona mengi. Those who have lived long see more.
Yes.
Yeah, and so don't think like you know too much, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes stay with the elders. They can teach you one or two things.
Yes.
Wow. I tell you one thing. If we could just learn through Proverbs, we're good. We don't need to go to school and learn math.
That is true. We don't need calculus.
Just teach us life. Kumunga, kunaipwa. That is it. And thank you so much, Omega. You have been a wonderful guest. There's so much wisdom you have given us, but the knowledge, the information, and I'm really sure that this, I have an assistant who does great work. Her name is Georgia, and I know she's gonna get the snippets and she's gonna share it on Instagram and everywhere. So one thing I want to assure you is that people might be DMing you and asking you where can they get the information you're talking about. And also definitely we want to thank Sam of Mansa Collab, because he's the one who'll be emailing me, texting me, calling me, Anna, you need Omega in here. I said this was amazing. This is what I needed.
That's Ubuntu right there. See how we work together on different things.
Yeah. So thank you so much. We're gonna go back to a little bit music while we bring in Ali Badawi. And today, this part is usually when we do our music, independent music from different African countries or people who live here but they are from the continent. But because things have been boiling hot in Africa, which in this case Kenya. Hey, we have our political what do you call them?
Pundit.
Yeah, our political pundit Ali Badawi. Who's gonna break it down? We're gonna go down with this Ali. So we coming back.